Well, amid uncertainty surrounding investigations into the meatpacking pricing industry, producers are looking for other avenues to enhance markets for their products. Roger McEowen with the Washburn University School of Law now joins us for today's Rural Money segment. And Roger, as always, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. First of all, give us a little historical background. Tell us about the Capper-Volstead Act and how it kind of ties into the current situation we're seeing.
Sure. Good to be with you today, Janet, and happy 29th birthday to you today, by the way.
Thanks again, Roger.
The Capper-Volstead Act was enacted about a century ago to deal, interestingly enough, with some of the same issues we're still dealing with today in agricultural markets, and that is the problem that a lot of ag producers face in that they buy from highly concentrated markets to acquire their inputs, and they sell into highly concentrated markets to buy their inputs and sell their outputs. So they're squeezed on both ends of the equation. And what Capper-Volstead does is it came in after several antitrust laws were already put in place as a means to give agricultural producers, those engaged in farming the way it's defined under the law, to coordinate their efforts to produce their products and get them to market and capture more of that retail dollar. So basically to give them a lot more market leverage and do so in a way that basically violates at that time and currently existing antitrust law, but with some exceptions. So if they stay within the guidelines of Capper-Volstead, they can essentially form a cooperative which would otherwise be in violation of antitrust laws.
Well, again, are there any limitations on the immunity from antitrust laws that the Act might provide?
Yeah, there are. They have to be formed in the right way. So that, in other words, the membership in the co-op has to be, and the co-op itself has to be involved in the processing, preparing for market, handling, or marketing of ag products of its members, who in turn are engaged in producing those products. And so it doesn't apply to persons that operate a packing house, for example. There was a case back in 1968 that went to the U.S. Supreme Court on that, back in 67 and 68. And you can't, for example, be a broiler chicken nonprofit marketing and purchasing co-op unless all of your members own breeder fowl. So you really have to have all of your members engaged in agricultural activities, and the co-op itself has to be engaged in processing, preparing for market, handling, and marketing those ag products. If you stay within those general guidelines, then in essence you do have a lot of immunity from existing antitrust law.
Roger, are there any other laws that grant immunity to agricultural co-ops?
Well, not the way the Capper-Volstead Act does, but there's the Cooperative Marketing Act that was passed in 1926, and that allows producers and their associations to legally acquire and exchange past, present, and prospective data concerning pricing and production and marketing. So that's exempt from antitrust laws. Some provisions of the Robinson-Patman Act, as well as the Ag Marketing Agreement Act and the Ag Fair Practices Act, do have related types of immunity that is provided to agricultural producers.
All right. And so, Roger, what would you say is the big takeaway that producers need to keep in mind as they push through the present economic situation?
Well, I would say the takeaway is that there are existing laws that we've discussed here that do give producers some options. And now, given the current situation that agriculture is in and has been accelerated by, of course, the virus concerns and the actions of state governors in reaction to that, but agriculture has been going through a tough time for 5, 6, almost 7 years now. This may be the opportune time to look into something like this to provide some more leverage in the marketplace.
Okay, Roger, as always, thank you very much for your insight. Roger McEowen, he's with the Washburn University School of Law, on the phone with us today from Topeka, Kansas.